Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As y'all can see, we are not on the farm right now because we are taking a road trip halfway across America. We're going halfway across America and back in 5 days. Going to be visiting at least 5 states, maybe more, who knows. But we're on one stop of many. We're going to bring you along with us, but there's going to be a twist at the end. You may be wondering what exactly is going on, and you got to stick around the end to find out. But before we get into that, here's a message from today's sponsor.
The sponsor of today's video is iClever. They were nice enough to send us 2 pair of their BTH20 Kids Active Noise Cancellation headphones. I was really excited about this because we do love going on long car trips, and the girls do homeschool, and it's really nice sometimes to be able to block out sound and for them to be able to focus on what they're doing and not have, loud audio from something that they're working on their tablets or something like that. iClever is considered to be the #1 kids headphone brand in the US online, and they have over 15 years of experience in kids audio, and they have their own lab and hearing experts to make sure that these are made safe. This particular model, the BTH20, is one of the best active noise cancellation kids headphones on the market. They have Safe Sound 3.0 technology that combines active noise cancellation with hearing protection standards. That way you know that your kids' hearing will be safe. So these headphones help the kids hear more clearly while being able to keep that at a lower volume, which helps protect their hearing, because as we know, hearing is important. And a lot of us, as we get older, we notice that we have some hearing damage or hearing loss, and sometimes that can be caused from listening to things too loud, earbuds, earphones, something like that. With these, you don't have to worry about that because it keeps that lower. They are extremely durable. It's one thing I noticed right off the bat is that, they definitely stretch and fold, and they definitely look like they are very well made. They're very comfortable. They've got all this padding here and at the top. Both sets are just the same on that. And they have 2 really, really cute colors. And like I said, they'll work for a variety of uses. So I'm super excited about these. And I know the kids are really excited to get to have a new pair of headphones that they can use and just block out the world. Hello, can you hear me? Abby and Izzy, can you hear me? This is definitely going to work out really well for their schoolwork. That way they can focus a little bit better and not have to worry about all of the background noises. What do you think? They're good? What do you think? Are they good? Awesome. So I'm super impressed with these headphones, and I definitely highly recommend that you go and check them out. Make sure you go check out the link in the description below and use our promo code for an extra 10% off. And they said that it will work with their Black Friday sales as well. So definitely go check them out. And we really appreciate iClever for sponsoring today's video.
So we made it back home, but we realized that some of our videoing was a little bit choppy because this was a little bit different than what we were used to, and the wind was horrendous.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of talk you through and explain what all went on as we show you about our trip. So we had to drive several hours. It was like a little over 16 hours of driving, but when you add in all the stops and stuff, it was a lot longer than that. And you may be asking, why did you have to do that? Well, at the time, we were in a government shutdown, and unfortunately, airlines were not reliable at the time. There's a lot of cancellations, delays, and stuff like that. And the flights that I was able to find where we were going, which happened to be Maryland, the layovers was only like, it was less than an hour. So I was like, one wrong mistake and we're going to miss our flight and get stranded.
Mm-hmm.
So since this was a spare the moment trip that was not a whole lot of time to plan, we just had to do the best we could. So we felt driving was the safest thing to do. So we left Friday evening after I got off work about 9 o'clock. We drove a few hours just to get on the other side of Memphis because we figured that would be a busy area to get stuck in. And we wanted to get past that where we didn't immediately hit that during a rush hour time. And then got up Saturday morning and we drove all day. We drove all the way from Memphis, or just east of Memphis, all the way to Washington, D.C.
Yes.
That's right. We went to Washington, D.C. We figured we've got to go to Maryland. We're going to be this close to D.C. We might as well do a little bit of sightseeing if we can squeeze in a little bit. And luckily we were able to do that since we drove all day long.
Yeah.
We got up there Saturday night, spent the night, got up Sunday morning, decided to drive down into D.C., And I know that Kimberly has a hard time finding stuff to eat that is
Mm-hmm.
gluten free. So I just decided to Google gluten free breakfast or bakeries or something. I don't remember exactly what I did
Mm-hmm.
in DC. And there just happened to be this one particular place that was a complete gluten free bakery.
Yeah, it was amazing. And we walked in and they had a huge menu, which I guess they had breakfast and lunch, and they had pastries, and everything was safe. And we had some really good food, which I didn't take pictures of the food,
We should have.
unfortunately, because it was phenomenal. We both had paninis, and I had a chocolate eclair, and he had a pumpkin roll.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Like I said, the pumpkin roll was really good. The sandwich, the first half was good, but after I got to the second half, that's when I could start to really taste the gluten freeness
Yeah,
of the bread. And I'm not a huge fan, but it was worth it because it was something that she could have.
and I appreciated it a lot.
After we got finished with our breakfast slash lunch, we decided to drive on into DC, and here's some footage from that.
So, has anybody tried to park in Washington, D.C. When your hotel doesn't have self parking? This is
This
try
is
number.
our second attempt to try to park or find the parking, and our third or fourth loop around trying to figure out how to get to the parking.
Yeah.
Because all the signs say something different.
So, you're going to turn here
Yeah.
and then stay to the right after that.
But before it said stay to the left,
Yeah.
and it took us right out.
And the GPS for this location did not actually take us where we were supposed to be taken. So,
Correct. Yeah, it put us out under a bridge and said good luck. Okay. Oh, so stay to the left here.
stay left here, yeah.
Okay. We will eventually find. Now, we may not ever find our car again after we get parked. But we will find.
Okay. It's clear. Let's see.
Public and hotel parking to the right.
There we go. Okay, this is where we just were. You just have to make the loop to get there.
So do I just go in over here?
I guess, yeah. Alright, so we did finally figure out how to get parked. That was definitely a challenge.
Yes.
But hopefully we found a decent spot. They had valet at our particular hotel that we picked. Probably why it was cheap compared to some of the others.
Yes.
Because you have to pay for the parking, but we'd rather park it ourselves since we're in a rental, just to make sure that, it's safe and all that good stuff.
Plus, it was too early to check in, and we didn't really want to trust them to lock all of our stuff up till we could check in. Then we'd have to get our car back out to get our luggage out.
Yeah, so we're gonna go do the sightseeing thing now. Up some hills for sure. Get our cardio in today.
Yeah. Plus, we may try out some taxis and public transportation.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But hopefully we can see some really cool stuff because this place is super, super neat.
Oh, we could have rode on one scooter.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm coordinated enough for that. Line bikes. Oh, yay! Oh, okay, so that was just the south building for the Department of Ag, and that's the big building. It's even more impressive in person. It's crazy. It's insanely windy though. glad we brought coats. This is amazing. Look what else you can see from here. Super cool. Hopefully you can hear some of this whenever we're talking because it is so windy. Just glad it's behind us though, otherwise my hair would be in my face. It's crazy though. Walking down here a little bit further to show you something else. That is amazing. This view is absolutely amazing. Finally made it up here. You can see just how far of a walk that was. So we're currently walking over toward the White House. It's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
We put in a lot of steps already. Have to check that a little bit later and see exactly how far we've walked because this is pretty crazy. We looked at renting scooters, but kind of pricey just for what it is. So may take a cab or something later.
Yeah.
That tired because I know I'm already getting there.
So the great thing about that, there was tons of things to see that, I mean, stuff we've seen online and on TV and stuff, but it was really neat to see it in person.
Yes.
All the stuff we just showed you. But the other great thing is there was a lot of neat architecture there. I mean, it's just crazy how
Yes.
different the buildings were. Some of the houses being stacked on top of each other, and then just the detail that was done in some of the architecture on some of the other houses.
Yeah, on our walk all around DC, basically, we saw the coolest places, and I got some pictures of some of it. Some of it I didn't really exactly know what I was taking pictures of, honestly, but it was really cool and just I really wanted to capture some of the details because it's someplace we've never been, and it's just
Hmm.
really, really cool to actually get to see this stuff up close.
Yeah, we've never been to that part of the country, period. Not just DC, but not the Northeast.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of those buildings are very, very old, which is one reason a lot of them have so much character.
Hmm.
But it was really amazing. And I tried to take as many pictures and as many videos as I could just for us, for the girls,
Yeah.
for y'all, because I wanted to share that. Look at that. That is beautiful. This whole place is neat. Well, Abby probably loved that. All kinds of things to see here. Okay, just had to try to zoom in to show you the detail on this. Look at that. That is awesome.
The other great thing about DC is a lot of the stuff is free, and they also have a lot of cool museums. We didn't get to see all of them because we were short on time, but the one we did decide to go check out was the Bible Museum, and it was super cool. A lot of
Yeah.
they have several 4 different floors.
Yeah, something
One
like
of them's
that.
like a theater room, but then they have like the top floor is like all the old collection of Bibles, and they show a
Yes.
bunch of different what all translations, languages, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff the Bibles translate into. They got a replica of the Rosetta Stone,
Mm-hmm.
Dead Sea Scroll pieces. I mean, just a
Yes.
lot of historical stuff that was really neat.
It was amazing. And getting to see all the different versions like over time and
Hmm.
the different translations. And they even had a whole room with it was sectioned off by um the parts of the Bible that have been translated into all these different languages, like New Testament. Some only have New Testament, some only have Old Testament, some have both, and then a list of all the languages that don't have it translated at all, which really just like it brings it, I mean, in the front of your mind, like, oh wow, yeah, there's a lot of languages that don't actually have the Bible,
Hmm.
and you don't realize that until you see it. A lot of times, I feel like, and it was very, very amazing.
Yeah, and then one of the floors was like bringing the Bible to America,
Yes.
um, and like different countries and stuff like that. And then there's another floor that was actually like a replica. It's like a Bible scene. It had like some of their shops and stuff like that, and there's actually
Mm-hmm.
people dressed up for the times and things like that. And that was really cool too to
Yes.
see. Um,
Girls would have loved that, but we do plan to take them back at some point because
yes,
DC is just an amazing place, and we want to spend more time there ourselves too. Because
definitely.
I mean, it wasn't enough to get in everything that we would have loved to have done.
No, because we only had one day really, and the only reason we got that is because we drove so much the day
Yeah.
before. Because initially that was supposed to be a partial travel day too, but we just went ahead and pushed through it.
So after we got done at the Bible Museum, we were exhausted, and then it was
Yes.
finally time we could check into our hotel too.
Hmm.
So we had actually parked at our hotel's parking garage, and that's where we started our walk.
Yeah.
So we walked back to the hotel, and then after that, we were able to check in, sit and rest a little bit, and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do for supper.
Hmm.
And we were like, well, there is a place called the Wharf that was just a little bit down from that. I didn't get a lot of pictures or video of that because honestly, I was shaking really bad because it was cold and, like you
It
said,
was
super windy.
cold and the wind was blowing so bad. My lips got so chapped from that
Yes.
because it was just terrible.
Yeah.
We were trying to find something that had gluten-free stuff,
Hmm.
and there was a Mexican restaurant there, but the line in it was like
Yeah.
all the way around the restaurant, like out the door. So I'm guessing it was really good,
Yeah.
but we didn't get to try it. We
Mm-mm.
started walking down the little strip there because it's like all eating places,
Yes.
but nothing else just really either was safe or looked good because a lot of it was seafood. I'm not a huge
Hmm.
seafood person, and the other things, whenever she would look up the restaurants, there was issues about whether there was some cross
Yeah.
contamination and stuff like that. But one thing we did get to see was one of Gordon Ramsay's famous restaurants. We didn't go
Yes.
because whenever we looked at the price tags on it, I was like, there is no
Oh, yeah.
way. Because I think whenever we looked, it's like $130 or something a meal,
It was something.
like for the full course
Yeah. Yeah.
meal. And I was just like, there is no way in the
Yeah.
world. I was like, it would be cool to do that maybe
Hmm.
someday if we're rich. But for now, we just had to look and take a picture of the outside of the
Yes.
building and
Which was cool in itself,
just to
honestly.
say that we'd been there.
Hmm.
But we ended up not finding anything down there that was done. We got in the car and actually drove to Outback Steakhouse
Yeah.
that was down the road a little ways because I was just like, not knowing what these are, like
Hmm.
I love to try new places when we're gone, but
Hmm.
I was like, I was needing to eat because my blood sugar was low, and I was just like, we just got to find something we know. And I looked, and there was a steakhouse that was Outback Steakhouse, and I was like, let's just go there. So we got up the next morning, had a little bit of time that morning, and I'd actually looked online and found where the Capitol had tours, and they actually had a 9 o'clock time available, and we were able to fit that in. So I was like, let's go check it out. So we went there. Problem is, We had to check out of our hotel, so we were having to move where we park. Well, it says where there's all this public parking around, and none of it existed or we couldn't find it. I don't know which. We drove all over the place. It's rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
Our thing is at 9 o'clock, and the closest park we can find shows it's like a 15-minute walk away.
Yeah.
And so we get to looking and finally end up parking in a parking garage for a news station. It was
Hmm.
NBC News parking garage, and luckily they allowed public parking there. I mean,
Yeah.
you had to pay for it, but
Yes.
we park there and look, and I put it in the GPS for walking directions. Like 9:01 your arrival. I was like, we're gonna miss our tour.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get there as quick as we can, and it's all uphill because it's Capitol Hill.
Uh-huh.
And so we get there and we get to the door, security right at 9 o'clock, get inside, and we're like, we had a 9 o'clock tour, we're gonna miss it. They're like, no, it actually starts lining up at 9. It starts at 9:10. They're like, you got
Yes.
8 minutes to spare. I was like, good. So we got lined up for that, did the tour. We had an excellent tour guide. He
Yes.
was
He was
very
funny.
comical and funny, and
Mhm.
it was really neat to see. They don't really let you see a whole lot. I mean, it was pretty
Mm-mm.
limited. We actually didn't. We were supposed to go to the Senate chamber, but we actually didn't get to because they had some high profile somebody there.
Yeah.
They didn't know who it was at the time. We're not sure either. We was trying to figure it out later, but
Yeah.
they actually had the main doors open that go out that they normally don't have open to slip high profile people in and out.
Mhm.
And we sat there for a minute, but we just didn't have a whole lot of time to wait. We didn't know how long it was going to be, but there was a bunch of black SUVs parked outside.
Yes.
So who knows?
It
We
was
can only
interesting.
speculate what it is, but it's kind of neat that that's what it was, even though our tour did get blocked off from going that way.
On the right-hand side, those black chairs, they belong to Supreme Court justices. That's where they sat, listening to the arguments from the lawyers. The lawyers are sitting. The more seniority they have. So my friend's going through the door. Yeah, keep heading over here. We'll get you guys in between the two sections. Yeah, keep going across.
Come in on a statue swap. We get him in 2000.
So after we got done with that, it was time to drive into Maryland because we had to be there at a certain time, but we had a little bit of time for lunch. And once again, I tried to find something that was different that we didn't have. And there was a place called Miss Shirley's, and they had gluten-free options. And all the
Mhm.
reviews said they were really careful with food allergies. So we decided to give them a try. And we did take pictures of the food there, and
Yes.
it was amazing. So I got a club sandwich, could only eat half of it. She got a burger,
It was
cleaned
so
their
good.
plate,
Yeah. It was really, really
which
good.
my club sandwich was probably about double the size of what
Yeah.
her stuff was anyhow. So
Yeah, for sure.
I took it with us thinking I would eat it later, but it just didn't work out. The sandwich was so big I had to use a fork and a knife because I could not open my mouth that wide.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, my burger was stacked full of all the toppings and everything, and I actually wound up using a fork and knife on mine too, just because I didn't want it all over me. So I was like, as soon as I pick this up, I'm just gonna drop it all over me. But
yeah.
it was really, really, really good.
So then we got to do a little bit of sightseeing along Baltimore as we were trying to get out of the town because we hit it during rush hour. And started heading home. And then we started our 17 and a half hour drive home because for some reason, coming home was longer than going up there.
Yeah.
But we decided to take a different route too because on the way up there, it was all Tennessee and Virginia
Hmm.
until we got to Maryland. And so I was like, it was a long, rough ride. Traffic was bad in some of the bigger cities. So I was like, let's go this other route. It showed it was like about 20 minutes longer,
Hmm.
but it actually went through West Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, and then back to Arkansas. So we actually ended up hitting 6 states on this trip.
Hmm.
And on that, we drove part of it on Monday and finished out on Tuesday. We got
Yeah.
home about 7:30 Tuesday night.
Hmm.
So y'all may be asking, what in the world did y'all have to go all the way to Maryland for that y'all didn't tell us about? Well, unfortunately, that's a story for another video, so be sure to check out our next video, but here's a little sneak peek of what we did. Many of y'all may have an idea why we were there.